All right, here we go. Another demolition project by Mountain Company. Here we are. This is a nail salon that has had this gas station for a couple of years, but they were ready to step up their game, and stop looking like a gas station. So they called us to remove their canopy. This is a simple job. I mean, there's a lot of scrap metal that we were allowed to scrap. I was surprised at how much bird poop and dirt was inside this thing when we started ripping it out. I mean, right now you don't really see it, but later on, we were taking bucketfuls of this dirt, whatever it was, loading up the dumpsters. And here we are. We're in Alamogordo, New Mexico. Great area, great destination location. It's not as mountainous as your Ruidoso climate, but Alamogordo, we're right next to Holloman Air Force Base. We're right next to, there's golf courses there. There's the scenic mountains are surrounding it, so you're on a flat area, which is just great for. It just means that a lot of places don't have the stairs and steps. But here we are demoing this canopy. It's a great, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of the things that are required and what we as Mountain Company have to be able to do this type of a job. Of course, as you can see here, you need a mini excavator. A bigger one would help, but those are, triple the price of an excavator like this. The thumb really helps. One thing that I learned throughout this job was it's better just to use the bucket just to grab at it and destroy the whole thing instead of trying to grab it with the thumb. As soon as you start grabbing it with the thumb and ripping it off, which you'll probably see a clip of two of me, you start bending the cylinder on your equipment, and we snapped it that day doing that. So it was hard, it was difficult, it was a costly mistake, but we got this job done in a timely manner, and you'll see that kind of here. One of the biggest things here is being able to have the excavator. Having a flatbed to transport the excavator is huge. If and you saw that at the beginning. We had our 14-yard dumpsters out there, kind of a smaller dumpster size. We also have 20s, 30s, and 40s, but we went with the 14 just because they're small, they're inconspicuous, and they make for a better, front presentation for the job. If we did have our 40-yarders on site, it would have been like 1 1/4 of a load on this whole thing. I mean, I think that I could have fit this whole thing in a 40-yarder easy. But the next item that you're going to need is kind of like a concrete saw. We always go with gas powered. There are electric ones, but just with the accessibility, we could have used a electrical port, but we decided to go with a gas concrete saw. And as you can see right there, that's our 14-yard dumpster that we're filling up. And we probably did about 4 loads of that, and then loaded up another truck and trailer of somebody that just wanted to scrap some of it. And, we were willing to give some of it away to some of the locals. But the concrete saw is going to be great. You're going to see how we cut up those poles with the concrete saw. Anytime you're running a demolition crew, you're going to need at least one. I mean, later on we're probably going to get a couple of them. But these concrete saws really cut through metal, really any size. You might need a couple blades for some of this. But, it's just kind of the trick of the trade. As you can see here, I'm grabbing it and pulling it, which is great. But the only problem with that is that, and you might see a little bend in the solenoid, but it's definitely damaging the excavator a little bit, which, is part of the job, but that was a very costly mistake for us, and something that took us a while to kind of order. There's a lot of downtime with the excavator if you do break apart, because it's hard to find it, it's hard to order it, and then you've got to get somebody to put it on, like a mechanic at some sort of a shop or something like that. But yeah, 14 yarders are great just because you can load them on site and everything. This job was You know, a lot of the jobs like this are simple. You know, you think that they're simple, but there's a lot more to it than just, you know, getting the equipment, getting a dumpster, and ripping it up. Another component to jobs like this that's huge that I wanted to go over is just the safety. And I know that there's different price points for different types of equipment. This piece that we have right here, the TB240, it's a closed cab, and we've got air conditioning and heat in it. And we as a company made that decision not just because it's seemingly nicer to be in, but also with something like this, it's a lot nicer to know that there is a piece of glass at least that's protecting you from, like, if one of these pieces of metal just fly at me, it's at least got a barrier before there's something that's gonna fly right at my face, you know. Helmets, different things like that. Eye protection is huge, but you don't really have to wear that if you're in a closed cab. I mean, it may even help as well. And as you can see right here, wearing gloves, that's huge. Wearing that helmet, huge. Ear protection, face guard, all that stuff. I really like that Milwaukee helmet that I had on. The only problem is that their headphone compartment where it protects your ears, it did kind of, after the job, it kind of broke on our next job that we did the following week on the tree job. It just wouldn't snap in place, and it wasn't anything that I did. It was just, that's how it was. And, you know, I mean, top of the line safety is of course number one priority for us. I know that, you know, we wear the Duluth brand of pants, and that's a high grade, like, protection. They're fire hose. They're made out of fire hoses that firefighters use, which is huge. Those sparks were so hot, they landed on a pair of pants and actually caught they caught my pants on fire, which really hurt. I got it out. I actually don't have any footage of it. There's a little hole on my pants where the sparks were hitting, and they got it. But as you can see, that's one of our trucks picking up the dumpster. But yeah, I mean, just safety in general, you know, making sure that you have the right equipment on. This isn't something that you would do in flip-flops and shorts or whatever. It's definitely something that you want to do in company attire. So hopefully it's safe. Hopefully you're wearing bright and vibrant colors so that people can see each other and they can pay attention. You're paying attention also with how you're loading the dumpsters. That's huge. Make sure that nothing's going to fly off for anybody else. And thank you for watching. Here's our 2-truck setup. Again, thanks, and see you next one.